plotting out our next strategies. We're going into the tube to Harrods, and I'll show you how.
This door is good, that door is good. Hop right on. And away we go. It's a couple stops.
Get off at Knightsbridge Station and you'll find yourself right at Harrods. It truly is the greatest department store in England. One of the best department stores you'll find any place in the world. You can get anything you need at Harrods. They sell just everything. They have some beautiful Egyptian decor on the inside because the owner, Mohammed Al Fayed, is originally from Egypt. The neighborhood nearby is also great for shopping and exploring. The little back alleys, the Mews, the Kensington High Street, just a few blocks away, keeps going and going with many more stores. Then you can take a little walk up Church Street nearby, leads you into a lovely residential neighborhood. Terrific place to live. There's all these little village-type enclaves hidden away in the back streets of London, just a block or two off of the main busy high streets. You'll be spending some money, of course, to enjoy all of these sights and activities and shops. So the question is, how do you get foreign currency? Well, probably the best way to get it is from an ATM machine.
Your card comes out, and then the payoff. Out comes your money. What a deal. It's our last complete day of the tour, so we are going to go for the maximum. First of all, we'll walk down through Trafalgar Square and get some photographs there. We'll go to the embankment, we'll take the tube. I want you to buy a day pass on the tube, and we'll take the tube out to the Tower of London. We'll stay there for about an hour and a half, and then we're going to go by tube to the British Museum. And we'll have lunch at the Museum Tavern right in front of the museum. And then we'll do about an hour and a half inside the British Museum. That'll take us up till about 2 o'clock. Then we'll come back here and go to the National Gallery. It's a tough challenge, but you can drop off as the day progresses. And at the end of the day, it might just be me, okay? Follow me, folks. Let's go this way. We'll see if we can do it. Bye-bye. So from our hotel, it's such an easy walk to Trafalgar Square. We just go right down Whitcomb and around the corner, and we're at Trafalgar Square. One of the great views of the world, really. You've got the National Gallery, Trafalgar Square, and St. Martin in the Fields Church. But I just wanted to show you, this is the Victoria Embankment Gardens. That door is good, right there, that's good. This is good, push it. Up right on the train. That's the oldest building in London, the White Tower. And then, of course, the fortifications grew over the years. Obviously, you know, one king and another king, they added walls, they added turrets. It's really a growing organic building.
At the center, you'll find the White Tower, which is the oldest building in London, for it was built in the 1080s. And now it has one of the most recently renewed interiors. It's all a beautiful museum of armor, military armaments, the history of the building, the history of the castle. The White Tower really is the centerpiece of the Tower of London, as you can see here in this scale model. So when you visit the tower, be sure to go inside the White Tower, as well as, of course, looking at the pageantry on the grounds, and you can follow along at the Beefeater, and you want to have a look at the crown jewels while you're here and admire this graceful Tudor architecture that's part of the assemblage, and maybe talk to one of the ravens.
Hello. When you're in the tower, one of the really great things to do is listen to the yeoman warders talk about the history of the place.
Before that, we kept them down at Westminster Abbey. We let the monks look after them.
This is it.
It only takes about an hour or an hour and a half to visit the Tower of London. You could spend a little more time in there if you want to see everything more thoroughly, but really you've got more things to do today. We're on our way to the street market at Petticoat Lane. This is a lot of fun on the weekend. And then we're going to be moving along on to the British Museum. So it's another full day. It's our last day of the tour, so we're trying to pack as many things in as possible. And it just so happens that Petticoat Lane is conveniently en route between the Tower of London and the British Museum, because you have to change trains at Liverpool Station anyway. So as long as we're changing trains, might as well hop out and go check out that interesting street market of Petticoat Lane, just a block from the Liverpool Station. Then back into the tube, and we're on our way to the neighborhood of the British Museum, which is located in Bloomsbury. And here there's a very special pub where you want to stop in and have another pub lunch. It's the Museum Tavern. It has a classic pub interior along with tasty foods at the hot table. You don't have to drink alcohol if you don't want to when you're in a pub. You can have soft drinks or wash it down with a pint of bitter.
Fabulous lunch in the Museum Tavern. It's my favorite pub in London. It's right across the street from the British Museum, so it's really easy to find it.
It's a great spot to have lunch. You don't want to have dinner in a pub, but lunch is perfect, especially at the Museum Tavern.
We'll just be in there for a little over an hour. And the first thing we're going to look at is the Egyptian wing and the Greek statues. This is the oldest archaeological museum in the world, founded in 1753. You can still see the paint on the walls there. That's from an Egyptian temple. Still has the paint visible. It shows that typical Egyptian position where they're not really moving. They're just kind of standing with one foot in front of the other, and their arms are down at their side. So it's fairly static, fairly rigid. And that style of art continued for several thousand years in Egypt. Some of their statues were 50 feet high, really colossal statues. And you can see also from the size of the arm that went with it, that's all that's left, the head and the arm. The head behind me, the head up here, is that of Ramses II, Ramses the Great. And he really was the greatest pharaoh in the history of Egypt. He reigned for 60 years. And look at the face. Look at the beautiful, colossal face. It's just a magnificent sculpture. It's a dung beetle, which gathers dung. It rolls up dung. And that's its food. And this was a very important creature to the ancient Egyptians because he symbolized reincarnation. He symbolized eternity. And he was one of the many creatures, many characters that were worshipped by the Egyptians. And at the back of the temple, you get the shrine. That's what this is here. This is the Holy of Holies, is what they called it. And inside there would have been a figure of a god. Well, here we've got a Greek temple. Actually, it was in Turkey, but the Greek Empire extended, you know, it included Turkey and parts of Italy, Egypt, the Middle East. The Greeks really had a large colonial empire, and their type of temple and their type of art was found throughout the ancient Greek Empire. This temple dates back to about 360 BC. They're in such beautiful motion here. The breeze is blowing their garments. It's as if they're life-size. They're human. It's as if the stones are alive. And yet, of course, they weigh maybe a ton. We are in the room of the Elgin marbles. These were all up in the Parthenon, the great temple in Athens. Look at all these legs here, the horse legs.
There's also a nice collection of Hellenistic statues in marble and bronze. There's some Greek jewelry here. There's ancient Roman statues. There's Egyptian mummies. There's exhibits on the history of England and the Celts on the continent. British Museum has a vast collection, and you can see the highlights in a couple of hours.
So we've conquered another cultural icon.
Yeah, like this kind of stuff.
Folks, we are winding down. We have seen all of the sights that we've come to see, and now we're passing one more time through Leicester Square on our way to the final dinner of the tour, walking through Chinatown. No, we're not going to have a Chinese dinner tonight. We've had some Chinese food earlier in our stay because London's Chinatown has got a lot of good restaurants, and it's only about 2 blocks from our hotel. But no, this evening we're going to a very classy place called Mezzo Restaurant. It's one of a group of restaurants designed and operated by Sir Terence Conrad, who is one of London's outstanding personalities. He really knows how to put together a fantastic restaurant and hire chefs that put together wonderful meals. Mezzo is a real popular spot. It's a little expensive, but it's worth it to splurge once in a while, especially the final night of the trip. So we're out having a great time because it's our last hurrah. The trip is now over.